Remember, the YouTube ads feed the ducks. Hello everybody and welcome to the Duck Adventure for Season 3. It's December the 8th and it is a freaking cold December the 8th, I can tell you that much. It's absolutely, you can believe how cold it is right now. The wind chill right now is something like around minus 17. I'm not enjoying this right now actually. I just finished doing the chores and filling all the water up and the feed up for the ducks. And I've been gone, actually longer than I thought I was going to be gone on the channel here since the cull. I'll be honest with you guys, I've been one really screwed up puppy. I'm a mess. Actually, I don't know how to put this, but I did not count on the emotional roller coaster ride that I put myself through here after the cull. I've been pretty depressed actually. I can't believe it's over. It was such an epic adventure. I shared it with so many great people on the internet. And there's going to be a lot more people that will watch this, in the years to come that will watch this crazy adventure I put myself through. But I was looking at the calendar and basically I did 7 days a week for 8 months. It was brutal. My body feels it. I'm still actually really burned out. Yes, I know. Anytime I talk now, I've noticed the last week and a half here, interacting with the flock, that what happens now is when I talk, they talk back to me, or if I'm around talking, as people are here, they get loud like this. It's almost like they're jealous. Actually, it reminds me of Doug. He gets all worked out if he has to share me with people. So I want to show you, I don't often have paper in my hands here on the show, and believe me, this is all improv, I'm not scripted. But I'm going to give you a breakdown of what happened after the cull, the final totals, because there was a lot of confusion, and honestly, I was confused also. But here's the bottom line. So last season, and let me have my spectacles on here. Last season, last spring I should say, we hatched 644 ducklings. Okay, I'm talking. What do you want? Hello? Oh man, the geese are the worst. So 644 ducklings I hatched, and we had some deaths during the season that I didn't video, but I did keep track of. I ended up having 4 died in the barn, 4 drowned in the tub, and 3 I found dead in the pen, which I don't think I videoed any of that. It was just sort of things that happened. I didn't have the camera handy. So there was 11 I lost there. 6 ducks went to adoption, which were my buddy who gave me the goose eggs. I gave him a bunch of ducks. He came the day of the cull and rescued 6 ducks, which I never videoed that. We were so busy, and he showed up, and he did not want to be on video. So he picked up 6 ducks. We got 6 crossbreeds in total. And we added 5 new drakes to the mix this year. So that's a grand total of 28. Now, also there were 10 ducks that were put into my freezer that didn't get culled properly, that had a lot of rips, broken legs, the wings got ripped off in the plucker. So they never got bagged up for anybody. They were into my freezer. So there was a grand total of 86 ducks the difference from the cull numbers and the hatch. So after taking all the variables in, we lost a grand total of 58 to predators, which if you consider that these ducks ran free, and Doug did his best to protect them, I did my best to protect them, we lost 58 to predators. So between the foxes, the mink, and the coyote, they got a grand total of 58 ducks on us last season. So that's not bad, really. In the big picture, I thought it was 100, but when I started adding up everything else, it made sense. So 58 is the final loss on the predators last year on the free ranging. And this year's census, I'm going to put this year's census, I'll just put the stats below the video of what we're starting out with this year. I don't know what else to say, guys. I'm back. The show's going to go on here. I've got some plans. Watching the ducks the last week and a half here, the way they're interacting in the pen. I got to take these glasses off here. It bothers me if I'm not reading, I don't want to wear them. What I noticed is that they're very, very active, like really active. Unfortunately, you wouldn't believe it, we've got a new set of predators here on the property. I can't let the ducks out. Doug can't stay outside because he's got no fur coat. He's got a winter coat that I can only put on him, which I'll show you guys later, the winter coat I got for him. we got a coyote is back. I found the tracks. They're coming out of the swamp. They're coming off the lake actually and coming through. I followed the tracks yesterday. They're coming in every single day to check on the ducks situation here. So they're not. They might be getting electrical shocks tonight. I don't know because my window isn't wide open like it is in the spring because obviously we're in the middle of winter here. So it's really cold, and it's actually really cold right now. But I can't let the ducks out. I did let them out a couple days when I was working in the yard, getting things ready for the winter. The ducks were out, and they had a blast, but they kept going back, right back to the pen. They're not interested in running around. They're running around the property because there's nothing out. Everything's frozen solid. You know, there's nothing here for them to you know, to free range on. There's nothing exposed. Everything's now frozen, covered in snow. So they basically went out, walked around the yard, and then came back and went back into the pen. So that's the deal on the ducks. So I've been really busy. I haven't been filming. I've been doing a lot of sleeping. I'll be honest with you guys. I can't believe how tired I am. Actually, I'm blown away. I've never been this tired in my life, actually. I've done some crazy things in my life, but I've never been this burnt out. But I'm back. I've done a lot of work getting ready. I'll give you a shot here once we finish this long intro I'm doing of what I've done the last 8 days getting ready for winter. I've done a lot of odds and jobs, just little things, getting them set up. The geese are causing a little bit of a problem. I don't know. I'm going to keep a really close eye on it, but they're raping the female ducks. We're getting a lot of raping action going on, and it seems they don't do it on the land though, thankfully, or they'd really hurt the ducks, but it's in the bathtub. A lot of interracial sex going on, and it's not a good thing because the ducks are staying away from the tub now. Every time they go in the tub, the geese follow them and mount them. So I don't know what's going to happen. I might end up closing the tub right off so that there's only drinking holes, so that there's no place for them to get in there. I don't know. We're going to have to wing it on this one. But I've got some ideas that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to seriously look at setting some outdoor cameras up for live streaming because one, they're so active this year. I don't know if it's because this is their second winter for these ducks, and they're their mind's a little more into it or what, but they're a lot more active. And I'm going to look into outdoor cameras for live streaming, and I'm going to figure out exactly what it's going to cost. I'm going to do a fundraiser, or either a Kickstarter or something, GoFundMe or something like that, and we'll see if there's enough interest in it. We'll set the cameras up. But honestly, the channel doesn't generate. The channel barely generates enough revenue to feed the ducks. That's the bottom line. Now, as far as the ducks are concerned, I'm getting messages from everybody that want to buy ducks. Here's the situation. I checked into shipping the ducks, frozen ducks, and it is mind-numbingly expensive. I am blown away how expensive it is. I did some test zip codes in the States. Actually, one was New York, New Hampshire, California, Texas. I did a box of basically 2 ducks, and it was $225 shipping charge. Now that is the one hurdle that makes it outrageously expensive. The next hurdle is the dry ice. I checked into buying dry ice. The minimum purchase for dry ice is $300 worth of dry ice, minimum purchase, which is basically 100 pounds of dry ice. And I have to get enough orders together to justify buying $300 worth of dry ice, because anybody that knows anything about dry ice, you have to use it the day you get it because it literally evaporates as time goes on. So it's not looking good, guys, about shipping ducks. Believe me, shipping within Canada by regular mail is possible, but it's still, when you're going to get your duck, you're going to have to eat it right away, and it's going to be expensive because it's express post just in the province of Ontario for one duck is like almost $25. It really drives the price up. The duck itself is only $3 a pound. I'm blowing them out, guys, because I'm blown away by people that want nothing to do with duck. But anyways, it's their loss. I'm having duck every day. I'm loving it. It's tasty. I'm sad because I'm eating, the actors from the show, but they do taste really good. And believe me, every day I look outside and I look at the flock gone, and I get depressed. But then I look at what's on my plate and I put a smile on my face because it tastes so good. It's bizarre. It's really it's working on my mind, man. It screwed me out totally. I did not expect the duck adventure to screw my mind up like this. It blows me away, actually, guys. I'm at a loss for words of what I'm going through. But it's done. The ducks are in the freezer. I am getting rid of some. It's a tough go. Not everybody wants the ducks. They're not. It's sort of funny. You talk to people about duck, and they say, I don't like duck. And then you say, well, have you ever had duck? No. How can you not like something you've never had? I don't know. These are adults too. It's almost like talking to my grandchildren. Now, when they say they don't like something, they say, have you had it before? No. Anyways, kids. But these are adults. Anyways. Bottom line is, there's a good chance that the ducks are going to end up going to the homeless shelter, if they'll even take it to the soup kitchen. I don't know yet. They're going out here to dribs and drabs. The freezer tray, I'm not going to keep renting the freezer because to rent it for another month just to sit on ducks that nobody wants doesn't make any sense. I'm going to show you when I get my freezer rearranged, my situation. I've loaded her right up. I'm sitting on about 140 ducks, which hopefully will last me the year. But I am eating a lot of ducks, guys. I've eaten, I think in the last 10 days, I've had, I think it's 8 ducks I've eaten. I've eaten a lot of duck. And I'm having duck again tonight. I love it. Oh, it's so tasty. I don't understand these people that say they don't like ducks. So, but anyways, I'm gonna wrap up this long intro. I'm rambling. I'm gonna show you what I've done. And if I missed anything, let me know in the comments below, and I'll cover it on tomorrow's video. But I'm gonna take you on a tour on everything I've done, set up for the winter here. All right, guys. My helper here really hates being left out of the pen. He's obsessed with his ducks, man. He gets in here and he just has to follow the ducks around. Plus, he also has to have a snack of duck food. So what I've done this year, guys, I've done some things. One, I've gotten rid of the big feeder. It's gone. And when my farmer buddy comes over to get his duck, I'm going to be picking, and he's going to bring a bunch of second cut hay, which is, I'm going to leave the hay right here. So what I've done in the pen this year is, one, I set some grids up over here, and I tarped it so that the water and the snow won't. You take a look here. I ran it up the back of the barn here. So I put some windbreaks on the end. The ducks like to go in there. And I'm hoping the geese are going to go in there, because I like to get the geese to stay out of the barn because they're causing a problem in the barn. But so far it's the Muscovies that keep going in there and try to spend the night. But I put a bunch of straw in there. That's the second batch of straw. By the time spring gets here, it's going to be a lot of straw in there. Now, what I've done is the grids. I took the covers off all the grids and I set them up and I've scattered them around here. Now the grids, this is only for one purpose and one purpose only, and that is to screw up raptors from flying into the pen. Now I've noticed that the ducks like to spend time, they basically congregate underneath the grids. I didn't want to leave the tarps on the top because I didn't want a snow load on top, but I wanted to keep it open. And so far the ducks are using it. They seem to hang around the grids, and that'll seriously screw up a raptor that's flying in, because raptors they don't like flying anything that causes them to have to veer around. So, and I put a grid right here. An arch grid. I built an arch grid here. Now, the reason I did it right here was last year we lost a duck right in front of the barn to an owl, and the owl was flying off the top of the peak and coming down to here. So this is going to screw him right up. That's going to cause enough of it's going to make this area tight enough that an owl is not going to be able to fly in. These are all things. Doug, come on. Doug's he won't leave the ducks alone. He's really I don't know if it's because the flock's so small now, but he wants to be around them all the time. So now what I've done is I've moved their feed inside. So now their feed's in here. Now they won't eat grain anymore. I've been doing the grain and partial mixture here of pellets, and they refuse to eat the grain. So I'm going to end up feeding the grain to the blue jays and that because they just won't eat it. They just leave it, and they need the proper nutrients which the pellets give them right now because they're not free ranging. So this is the feed shack. I don't have the light come on. It comes on actually 5 a.m. in the morning. It turns off about 8:30 in the morning, and then it turns back on again around 4 in the afternoon, and it turns off again at 8 at night. Because basically I don't want them in here overnight. I don't have enough straw in here. I'm leaving the door open so that the ducks don't go in there and stay in there the night. I don't want them in there. It's too cold. It's not the place I want them. So I might end up doing it, you know, to give them more room. I might end up putting more straw in there. Who knows? I'm still winging it a little bit here because, you know, last year, you know, we never had geese. This year we do. So I don't know. The geese are, you know, they're being a very little territorial when it comes to the areas. I don't know what it is. They, you know, they live with the ducks. They're with them. They, you know, I watch them with them and they're cool. But then they get these little, you know, I don't know if it's attitude. I don't know. It's, I'm hoping we don't have a problem. If, you know, I might end up having to convert the feed shack over and putting a heat lamp in there. Who knows what we're going to end up doing here. I might have to make it so that there's 2 spots so the ducks can decide where they want to go. I don't know. We're going to wing it here. I'm going to keep an eye out on the ducks and what's going on. But now, another thing I had to do, which I discovered, and it is because this year I have a long run on the drain for the tub, is what I had to do. And if you look here, there's a pipe. Now this pipe and the extension cord that runs into it, this is just so that the geese don't go at it. When it goes down, there's a line goes in there, and it's a heat cable. Because I noticed what was happening was, because it's so long of a run, that I was actually freezing up in ice at the other end, which I'll take you down and I'll show you the other end here. And it was causing the water to come back into the pen. I want to keep the glacier out of the... Doug, he's getting going here. I want to keep the water out of the pen this year so that we don't have this massive glacier in here. Because what happened last year is the glacier built up so much in the pen that it shorted the electric fence out, and I had to rewire the fence in the middle of the winter. So I don't want to have that happen to me again. I'm learning from last year's mistakes. Now, another thing I had to do was I had to, because of the geese, I had to cut the cord off here. I'm trying to walk around this ice here. I had to cut the cord, the plug end off the end of the cord and solder it on later, but I had to put a garden hose over top because the geese were trying to eat the power cord. They were actually gnawing at it to the point they were starting to break the insulation on the outside. So you know, the geese are turning out to be a major destructive force here. Everything they do is destructive. The water line out here is no longer going. I had to drain it and put the wet vac on and suck it dry, so there's so it doesn't split the pipe. So now I'm back to the garden hose, the heated garden hose bag, and it's you know, it's a little bit of work, but hey, it's a duck adventure. All right, so let's go around and take a look here. I'll show you what the drain pipe looks like and what I had to do down there. So the tracks that are showing up here are all coming from there. What's happening is somewhere down on the other side of the lake, which I haven't gone down the lake. The ice is not thick enough for me to walk on yet. I'm not too comfortable with it yet. Another a couple more weeks here with this cold weather, and I'll feel a little more comfortable walking on the swamp. I don't like walking on the swamp because what happens is, because it's the water's so shallow and the decomposing vegetation, you can get hot spots, and you literally, the ice will be like you'll go from a foot thick to an inch thick, and you go through it. So, but there's tracks every single day coming from the swamp, coming to the yard. So now what I've done here, and you can see this is, you know, there's a heat cord already here, but this I had to run a heat cord all the way up the line so that this would stop, because what was happening was it was just becoming a big ice tub and it was backing the water up. So luckily I had an old heat line. You're not going to believe that heat line was actually made in Canada. I couldn't believe it when I looked at it, but it's well over 25 years old. I used to have it for a dog dish wrapped around, and it never worked, so I never got used. So this is the first time that it's ever been used. But that'll keep this end of the line thawed out so that it won't back up. I've never had a problem with the ice backing up before. That part where it enters in, that part, it seems the water moves fast enough that it doesn't freeze. But the extra lengths I added on this year to get the water out of the pen is it's getting a chance to freeze. So this will stop the freezing problem. Well, I'll take you to the barn and show you what I had to do because of the geese. Well, Doug should be banging at the door here any second. All right, so what I've done in here is I brought some nesting boxes in, which tomorrow I'm going to bring some more in. I want to add a couple more, probably one there, and I'm going to put another one over in that corner. And plus I'm going to bring a couple in for a second layer for the Muscovy's, second level I should say. So what I had to do, which I couldn't believe the geese, they were eating the plastic wrap on the walls that was put up here as a windbreak through the walls. So I had to put another layer of coroplast all the way around up because they were chewing the plastic off the wall all the way around. I was like, I couldn't believe it. It only took them about 2 days to start this shenanigans, and they just were in here at night ripping the walls off. So that was another job I do, and every job I have to do is so hard because, man, I am suffering. I'm still this tendonitis in my left elbow is absolutely killing me. My hand, I can't do anything like swinging a hammer with this hand. Every job, the last what it's been since the cull, I've been doing jobs and getting things done here and getting ready for winter. Every single job is been just, it's absolutely brutal. I'm going to be so glad when I get my hand back. It's been a rough go. My arm's killing me though. The tendonitis thing is my left elbow is excruciating pain all the time. So, but tomorrow I'm cleaning this out, and I'm like I said, I'm putting more nesting boxes in here to give them a little more room. It seems that when they go into the nesting boxes, they sort of get away from the crowd and they stay on the outside of the barn, and the geese leave them alone. I don't know what I'm going to do with these geese. I don't know if I'm going to have to come up with another feeding idea outside and turn the garden shack into another place for the ducks to go, the ducks that want to go in there. I don't know yet. I might end up putting a heat lamp in there on a timer that comes on at night so that there's heat in there, because that building doesn't get warm. The barn gets really warm. The garden shack does not. Like this building, inside the barn here gets above zero. With the ducks in here, it's actually, you come in here, it's like 2 degrees. It'll be 15, 17 below outside, and you'll come in here and it's 2 degrees above. So I don't know, what I'm going to end up doing here, but at least everybody's got a place to come. They get in here. They do come in here at night. I'm turning the light off outside now in the pen around 9 o'clock. It turns off so that they're forced to come into the building. But the geese, I think we might have a slight problem. I might have to get the building converted over so that there's a place for them to go and feed the ducks outside. It's something that I can think of. I just don't want to feed outside because the weather here is so brutal, and I don't know. Curveballs on the duck adventure. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing. So, but that's what I've been up to. I did some plumbing in the house to get more water flow outside, changed some plumbing, and I've been doing little jobs. But the duck adventure has been basically mat recouping from the cull. And let's just get outside here, guys. And dealing with being, one, physically exhausted, and two, an emotional mess. Actually, I'm a little screwed up on this big void. It's a big void in my life on what's happened here, but. So we're going to start another adventure here, and we'll see what Mother Nature gives us this winter. But my gut's telling me I got a little rearranging to do, and that I am going to end up having to feed the ducks outside, and I'm going to have to convert the garden shed over for a place for the ducks to go into, and put a heat lamp in there, and I might have to run 2 buildings for the crew. So, but they really, I just put fresh straw in there, so they're really enjoying that right now, playing in it. So tomorrow I'm working on the barn. I'm basically winging it here, guys, and we'll see what I come up with for this winter. Like I said, I think I have to come up with more space, just so that everybody's got a place to go. And it's just that shack is so cold, and I already know from last year how cold it gets. I would prefer to keep them all in the barn, but if it's not working out, I'm going to have to do something. But we'll keep you updated. But I definitely have noticed I got to get some camera action happening outside, and I'm going to, this week I'm going to research it, and I'm going to figure out exactly what the software costs and everything, so that we can stream live on YouTube, and we'll run a show here, and well, if there's enough interest to buy it, to get all the equipment that I need to do this. Because it's not going to be cheap. I know that, and to do it on YouTube, you need the proper camera, you need the proper software to do the interface with YouTube. So, but Oh, my hands are freezing. I'm using my thumb. It's not that strong here. I'm hurting, guys. I'm hurting. So I'm going to get on with my day here. I got things to do. And this is the first video of season 3 of the Duck Adventure on YouTube. Okay, guys, I got to show you this. This is this duck here is waiting for the goose to leave. And look at it, frozen to the ice. And you look there, another duck got frozen in the ice right there. Waiting for the goose to get out of the tub. Like I said, I'm gonna have to come up with something here. I might end up covering the tub up and making it so they can only drink out of it. I have to come up with something here. But as soon as the ducks went in the tub, the goose went in there and took over the tub. Curveballs in the Duck Adventure, I didn't count on, but then again, we didn't have geese last year.